the awareness of your strengths makes you aware of your weakness as well.
True.
Why? Because weakness and strengths is two sides of the same coin, which is talent. If you understand your patterns, if you understand what you are good at repeatedly, guess what? The consequence of that is you also get to understand, hey, this is something that is my blind spot. And the acceptance of that, the self-awareness of that is what sets you free.
We are on a mission to help you achieve your fullest potential and make you realize that you're one bold decision away from changing everything. This is Bold Moments. Imagine a world where people fully embrace who they are. They embrace their talents and strengths. Everybody will be fully alive, contributing to society and following their dreams. Sadly, we grew up not having a clear understanding of who we are. In this episode, we will learn why knowing your strengths help you expedite your way to success. With the help of Val Baguios, a Gallup-certified Strengths Coach and an ICF-certified coach, his role is to help organizations develop future-ready leaders. Val is on a mission to help leaders and individuals uncover their talents to allow them to live their best life according to God's purpose.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Val Baguios. Coach, hi, how are you?
Wow, thank you, Ralph, for having me.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you very much for coming over. I know you have a very busy schedule. You just came from Jensen, I think. And you are a strengths coach.
Yes.
For me, it is a powerful, now I think should be central to how we reform education.
Wow.
And your ministry now is strengths. How we can use strengths, our own innate strengths and talents for us to move and advance in life with so much more confidence and power. Why do we need to know about strengths, our strengths?
Oh my, like I told you before, when you ask me these kinds of questions, I feel like a flood of information and things are flooding my head right now. But I think one of the very first things that a person needs to understand when he opens his eyes in the concept of strengths, and even educators, trainers, and all of that, is to understand what really is strengths. Saan nanggagaling? What's the foundation of strengths? And I always tell this to NBU, you know this, that the foundation of strengths is talents. And talents are simply your patterns of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that can be productively applied. The concept, so simple as that, as talents.
Yes.
Parang habit. Ganun lang. It's the habit of your mind.
Right.
Ganun lang siya. That in itself, if you invest in it, learn things, learn skills around it, apply it to certain activities in the workplace, in your business, that becomes a strength, which is a near perfect performance on a specific activity or a specific area of your business. And when you apply it, that becomes strength. And I think that people should understand, where am I strong at? What kind of things makes me feel alive? Because there is just too much negativity going on around already.
Right.
Too many people are looking at gaps, looking at what you are not capable of doing, and maybe teach you that, maybe improve on that, and maybe you would be like everybody else.
Does everybody have strengths? Everybody, all human beings, do they have their own strengths?
Absolutely. There's no doubt to that. We are all created by God. God did not create anything by mistake or by accident.
Right.
So I strongly believe that everybody has strengths.
Why is it important to have strengths? Say, I am a student right now, and I am so excited about the future. I can see a lot of possibilities for myself. However, I feel also overwhelmed because there's so many possibilities. Will my strengths help me realize what is possible for me?
That statement already gave me an idea what your strengths is.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way,
that's probably futuristic.
It is indeed.
Okay.
He is my coach, by the way. He's my strengths coach, and he's amazing. You made me cry a few times already, and hate you for that.
Two sessions to cry.
To cry, and I didn't want to cry. And it's just that you are able to break through a lot of this, this superficial things, and really go to what's essential.
Yeah.
And one of my strengths is you were able to futuristic. And that really helped me. I realized, oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's who you are.
Why is it important for people to know about?
Because number one, as early as elementary or even in high school, people get to compare themselves, no?
Oh, yeah.
You compare yourselves with your classmate, compare yourself with the people you follow in social media and all of these things. And if you are not equipped to understand what your strengths are, and by the way, you don't get strengths, you just rediscover them.
Right.
You uncover them because it's already in you.
It's in you.
No, nobody gives that to you except God. That's it.
Even whatever economic status you are in.
Yes.
Even if you are seen as weird by your friends.
Yeah, it's in you. In fact, the weirder. Your strengths actually define what kind of weird you are.
Oh, I like that.
To be honest, my strengths tell me where do I become weird at times, and what kind of weird will I do most of the time. So, anyways, it is important for a student to understand his or her strengths, to uncover it, to rediscover it. It's because success, even at an early age, comes from within.
Right.
Not from what the outside world can do to you.
That's powerful. Can you elaborate on that?
Because what lies inside of us, our talents, our patterns, this is almost God-given. It's there. When the moment you have ano bang tawag nito sa English, yung awareness, consciousness. The moment you have that, you are already, your mind is beginning to define who you are. And the reason why that is important is that when you start interacting with people, to society, in the school, they kind of force you into this mold that if you want to be successful, maybe you should become like this.
Right.
If you want to be successful, maybe take this course.
Take this course.
Maybe
the popular course. Where there's so much demand.
Sige, no, oh my gosh. Don't get me even started about
I
this.
know, it's a trigger.
Okay, nursing. Diba?
Yes.
Take nursing.
Yeah.
Nothing
wrong with nursing. by the
Nothing
way.
wrong with nursing. I have
Yes.
lots of nursing friends.
Exactly. But it became a popular trend pa.
Oh, nagkaroon ng hype. Simply because there are hundreds of people who became successful in perhaps another country doing nursing.
Exactly.
And that's fine because generally Filipinos are really caring, genuinely concerned. Malasakit, diba, is there. But the point is, if you're born with a very high yearning for, let's say, numbers, let's say you want to solve problems in, let's say, in the industrial setting, and then all of a sudden you become forced with nursing. Let's say, for example, you paint very well when you were 3, 4, 5. You know, arts is something that you want to go into. But then all of a sudden, because of economic reasons, you are forced to a certain mold.
Right.
One of which is nursing, another is being a doctor, another is being a lawyer, being an engineer, and there's nothing wrong with that. I am an engineering graduate. My dad is engineering, and he's pretty successful at what he does. My mom is nursing. But all people cannot be fit into a mold and guarantee success because you fit into that mold. And that is the reason why it is important for you to understand, ano ba ang meron ako? What has God given me that if I actually do this and apply this into a certain context, success will come. Fulfillment will come.
Yes.
And it becomes deeper. Purpose will become clear.
Alignment happens.
So it becomes clear and clear.
Yeah.
Notice, money is not there in my term.
Mm-hmm.
I said success, I said fulfillment, I said purpose.
Yeah.
Because money is just one small chunk of success.
Right.
If successful is helping 1 million kids in 1 year, then good for you.
Great, right?
Good for you.
And if you're able to do that, you're able to facilitate that because of your strengths. you're able to advance whatever you want to advance in the world through your strengths.
Through your strengths.
You facilitate that through your galing. And if you are not great in other things, what can I do? For example, like me, I'm more of a guy who's about ideas, about making products,
Right.
and I'm really not good in operations, finance. How
Right.
can I go ahead in when another part of
Yeah.
advancing things is needed to be fulfilled?
Totoo yan. One of the I'm glad you asked that, because one of the misnomers or the misinformation about strengths-based development is, should I ignore weakness? Should I ignore my weakness? So if this is getting in my way, should I ignore it? Should I just happily hop along my strengths and just ignore all the operational stuff, if that's what you said?
In my
diba?
case, yes.
The answer is no. In fact, the awareness of your strengths makes you aware of your weakness as well.
True.
Why? Because weakness and strengths is two sides of the same coin, which is talent. If you understand your patterns, if you understand what you are good at repeatedly, guess what? The consequence of that is you also get to understand, hey, this is something that is my blind spot.
True.
For example. Or
True.
this is something that I might naturally drop,
True.
if you may.
Because if you get to know who you're not, you also get to know more of who you truly are.
That is true. And the acceptance of that, the self-awareness of that, is what sets you free.
What is my strategy then? If I needed to move, if I have a business and I'm not good at other parts, what do I do?
A lot of things can be done. No? So number one is, first, you have to understand, is this really getting in the way of my success? So you have to plot your success, plot your goals, plot the outcomes needed for your role. Is this really getting in my way? And if it is getting in your way, kasi sometimes you say, I am not good at talking to people. Let's just say, for example. But success for you is developing amazing applications in the back end. There are people like that who's
True.
just silent at the back end,
I know
programmer
someone.
sila,
Yeah.
nerding out sila.
Yeah.
Diba? They just
They
want...
don't want the spotlight.
In fact, they hate talking to people.
True.
They hate the spotlight.
Yeah.
If you put them in the spotlight, parang, oh my gosh, just kill me now. Diba? May ganon. And as long as your success is defined that you do not need to do that, then guess what? That's not a weakness for you. That may be a role that you're trying to play because you're trying to fit a mold that maybe a boss is telling you. Some other people are telling you, no, dapat hindi ka lang programmer. Dapat you have to learn to talk to people as well. Dude, you're a programmer. You're meant to be shutting yourself inside a room, doing amazing stuff in your computer, and when the output comes, you get acknowledged for it. And that's about it.
You know what, Coach Val? This is a very powerful topic that we are discussing right now. You were able to give us a revelation. I think this is a great revelation for everybody who's watching us right now, that if you feel like you're lesser because the school that you went to made you feel like because you're not in the top 10 and you don't have the best memory, and that maybe there's an advice that was given to you that you're not gonna get far in life because you're just not good in school, that you're already judged. I want you guys to know that that's not true at all. Let's put that in the trash can of history and make you realize that if you get to know your strength, you're closer to finding what's next for you.
Yes.
Because now you know how to navigate with life
Yeah.
by using your innate resources,
True.
your greatness, your talents, your skills that was given to you. And I hope people get to know that. And thank you very much for making that your ministry. I want to know, why is this your ministry? Why are you coaching people about strengths? Why are you are a resident mentor for NBU? This is your topic all the time. Why? Why is
Yeah.
it important for you?
That's a really personal question.
Yeah.
I think, and I like that you said that use the term ministry, and it's not really work at all for me, because I think that I think my calling is where the ministry and work is kind of coinciding, parang intersection siya. For me, it's quite personal because, okay, I studied engineering, as you know. Spent 5 years in engineering. But during even high school pa lang, I was not really good at math. You know, I had remedials in math during high school. I mean, that's like just the most basic algebra in the whole world. But then I get to be recommended by my teacher to take remedial classes. And obviously, when I was in engineering, I was scared to death. I can honestly say I kind of cheated my way in my first year. And I realized, oh my gosh, this should not be. I can't go on with my college life cheating my way. Because I was so poor at algebra. And first year in engineering is what? College algebra, pretty basic with a basic book. I realized I started opening my notebook. I started studying on my own. And I started attending group studies, and I would end up feeling like, and I would receive my quiz results and exam results. And although I passed, blood, sweat, and tears, I feel like I'm not cut for this engineering thing. I'm not cut for this math thing. I took the board exams. My first take in the board exams, you know, engineering, during that time, I'm electronics communication engineering, and obviously there are three things. You take the test in electronics, you take the test in communication, which is all about satellite, mobile phones, etc. And you take the test in math. I passed in the two,
Right.
I failed in one. Diba? So it's kind of, okay, so this kind of,
This sucks.
it defined me.
Yeah. But maybe you're not the best engineer that could be after you graduate.
Actually, I was probably down for like, I don't know, 2 months. And I
Yeah.
was already working.
Yeah.
And that was when I resolved, I am really cut for IT. And so I, instead of being down in the results of the board exam and in what happened to my engineering, did I waste my 5 years in engineering? All these questions, diba? Am I really that stupid in math? Yung mga ganon. I mean, you ask those questions during that time. But I said, nah, I'm gonna focus in what I love, which is IT during that time. And so I research in IT, I volunteer myself in IT, I do overtime, single pa ako nun, so I do overtime at work up until 11 p.m. Next day, 8 a.m. ulit pasok ko. So I was an intern, I was just researching and learning all the things that I can in IT because I love it. I earned my certifications in IT, you know, here and there because I think I really thought I love IT. I really and then I flourished in IT. I lasted for 10 years in IT because I loved it. And then it started evolving because when I learned how to handle a team, interact with people. So yun na yung parang na-feel ko na parang, wait a minute, parang, and this is the narrative in my head, I feel like there's something more beyond fixing computers and firewalls and networks of companies or of in the office. And that's when the Strengths Finder came into my life. I think sobrang proper timing. I think I was in my 7th year in IT, and when I took Strengths Finder, at first I took it because of peer pressure, because my friends just said, sige na, para may mapag-usapan lang tayo. Sabi ko, sige na nga, para in ako sa usapan. Yung mga Strengths Finder, yung mga futuristic, strategic, whatever. So I wanted to take Strengths Finder because my friends said so. And when I took it, and I read my results, my report, I said, whoa, this is who I really am. Ever since when I was a kid, when there was no expectations yet placed on my shoulders, when I was just playing with my friends, I would assume these kinds of roles. It would allow me to be strategic.
May I know your results?
Strategic, communication,
Okay.
individualization, belief, relator. So
Can
those are
you
my top 5.
share some of those strengths and when you realized this is correct? This is really-
Yeah. Okay, so strategic is basically, what it means is I have plan A, plan B, plan C's. I ask a lot of what-if questions.
Yeah.
I like planning. I like brainstorming. I like generating ideas. So that's strategic. Communication is that, oh my gosh, it's my secret power. I have this invisible baul of words and phrases that I can throw to you
Right.
at any given time just to express my ideas and my feelings. And so that's very handy.
I know. Can I borrow that strength?
It's for rent.
Okay.
Okay, so that's communication. Individualization, it makes me appreciate and celebrate the uniqueness of people.
Which I actually see in you. As a coach, you're able to see people as they are, not having. I didn't feel that you were a judgy kind of person, and that's why you're a perfect coach.
Thank you for saying that. And to be honest with you, okay, and I'll say more about this. Individualization, people can be a strength and it can be a weakness,
Right.
diba? Like I said, diba? My talent is individualization. Now, it is up to me if I invest in that individualization so it becomes a strength or it becomes a weakness. What you're seeing right now, thank God, no, is a result of my investment in my
Right.
individualization.
Right.
Because if you knew me years before, I would be the most judgmental person. You know why? Because individualization played to the negative can also be a labeler,
True.
a judgmental person that says, okay, this person is this. And so, he's just that. You know, he's not gonna be like this, he's not gonna be like that, ever. He's just like that. Kasi ganun ang individualization. It kind of understands people.
Yes.
But if you do not understand completely the picture of people and how they are amazing in their own
Why
right,
they're like that.
why they are like that, you would label them and put them in a box and say,
Right.
okay, ganyan ka na. Habang buhay, you'll be a failure. Because
So that means that if you have a skill, if you've revealed that, oh, this is my strengths, doesn't mean that you have to bask and enjoy, oh, this is who I am, I'm amazing.
Exactly.
You have to invest on it.
You have to invest in it.
Why do you need to invest on it?
Because by default, our talents, our default ways of thinking, feeling, and behaving could easily slip into the negative.
Right.
Because of the pressures of society,
Right.
of course, the negative things that we're seeing and experiencing, the defensiveness of our emotions sometimes to shield us from hurts,
Right.
it could easily slip. So without fully understanding how my individualization, for example, could play out to the really positive side of it,
Right.
and I'm not investing, I'm not reading books, I'm not, being mentored around it, ang hirap.
There is a student in NBU
Yep.
who shared her testimony yesterday. Once she know her strength, she realized that it was indeed true. She was not reading before, and she's now finding joy in reading because that's how she see.
Wow.
She was feeling kasi na maybe this is not me because there's just so many things that you can do, right?
Wow, yeah.
And then when she realized more of herself because of that strength, she's a liberator, I think.
Wow.
She now reads a lot of books and she's enjoying it. She's quoting a lot of quotes and she's sharing the joy of reading and that's the power of knowing who you are.
Yeah.
So before you have all of this collection of data in your head, people thank me for this, they recognize my that I'm good at this. But it's just like a very
It's vague.
Vague.
Hindi siya clear eh.
Hindi siya clear who I am, right? And then somehow Strengths Finder, once you take it, and then once you realize your strength, and once you have a coach to help you understand why those are your strengths and how you can utilize those strengths, you now just have this clarity that you've never had before.
Exactly.
I'll share this, Coach Val. I am a big fan of what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
That it became that I wanted to give you guys a platform so that you guys can reach more people.
Thank you.
And because I am a weirdo. I'm enjoying my weirdo. I think it's really great thing
Until now,
about-
you're still a weirdo.
I am a weirdo, very much, and I
Cheers to
embrace-
weird people.
Cheers to every person who feels they're weird.
Yes,
Guys, meron
yes.
tayo patutunguhan.
Yes.
I failed 5 businesses when I started. I was 21 years old and I thought I had potentials. I got an award after graduating. I felt, oh, I'm great. Maybe it's time for me to start a business. And I made 5 businesses. I built 5 businesses. And then my big idol that time was Mark Zuckerberg. Okay, and he's a CEO, and it's like that's the promised land. Like anyone can be Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And then I failed all 5 of them because I was trying to do operations, like day-by-day operations, and I was doing finance.
Oh my gosh.
When I revealed,
Finance.
once I knew my top 5 strengths, none of them was operational. And I'm like, I felt like sad because I'm not the guy who I thought I was. But I had a realization after as well that maybe I can start accepting more of who I am.
Exactly.
And that's the powerful state, powerful realization. What do you think is the best advice that we can give to people who are just gifted in many things, that they cannot focus on one thing?
First of all, I'm happy for them. It's a unique talent, I think, that a person can do multiple things and excel at it.
Right.
Diba? I mean, not only do it as a hobby, like really, maybe even earn money from it, no? I don't know. I mean, so the first and foremost is, number one, celebrate that. I mean, not all people can do that.
Yes.
Have a vision for your future.
Have a vision for it.
Have a vision. What do you see, I don't know, 1 year, 2, 3 years, 4, 5 years down the road with what you're pursuing? Is this really the person that you want to become?
Oh, I love that.
I want you to check yourself 5 years down the road. Did you become the Ralph that you really want to be? Did you become the Val that you really want to be?